JRR, Orlando's rock station with Ozzy, Lynch, and Taco. Good morning. Hey, all next week, we will have free passes for the Back to the Beginning streaming event that you'll be able to check out the final Black Sabbath original lineup performance and all the great bands that are going to be part of that event.
July 5th.
Yeah,
right?
July 5th from Birmingham, England. So all next week during our show, we'll have some of those passes to give away so you can watch that.
Question for you, because you were going to be driving when that show's happening. Are you still able to watch it a little later? You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, you can. With the pass, I think is good for 48 hours.
Okay, that's what I want to check. Cool.
So
just so you could get to your destination and sit down and enjoy some Oz.
$29.99 if you're looking to purchase that. By the way, all right, on to Tech It Out time here on JR. Some science and technology news. It was a good day yesterday for Mark Zuckerberg and his company Meta, which, of course, has all things under that umbrella, including Facebook. A federal judge sided with Facebook and Meta in dismissing a copyright infringement lawsuit that was brought by authors who accused the company of stealing their works to train its artificial intelligence technology. We've talked about this before. You train artificial intelligence by literally feeding it gobs of information, and it takes it all in, and then it
regurgitates it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then kills everybody.
It hasn't killed everybody yet, Taco. We're not at that point yet.
But it does in the future. Yeah.
Authors have contended that their written works should be compensated if these AI models are being trained with their material. The judge sided with Meta. Now, the U.S. District Judge out of San Francisco found that this group of 13 writers, that also included comedian Sarah Silverman, made the wrong arguments and then tossed the case. But the judge also said the ruling is just limited to the authors in this particular case and does not provide Meta license. Let me decode that for you. The judge basically says, you got something here, but you've framed your case improperly.
You went the wrong angle.
So they're going to have to get back with, much like I'm contending on the Diddy thing. It's similar, they're trying to get him for this, but they're contending.
You said it from the get-go.
So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how this goes moving forward.
Did Sarah cuss him out on the way out of the courtroom?
I don't think she was there.
I'm sure she said something like, Pat, take a bite.
Yeah, perhaps. I don't think she was present in the courtroom for this.
She's a dirty one. Not in a bad way, I mean.
Venice, Italy has been taken over by Jeff Bezos and his soon-to-be bride, Lauren Sanchez. Their big wedding spread over 3 days, starting today. The locals in Venice, Italy, are not happy with this event, have staged all sorts of protests against the Bezos and
empire.
They don't like the fact that they have basically rented out Venice for themselves.
Yeah, didn't they put up a big sign or something?
Well, they've rented out all these water taxis and stuff, and they just, it's.
Think if you got that invite, what do you get him as a gift? You could give him an Amazon gift card. Just throw him for a total loop.
I don't know, dude. So we'll see how this whole thing plays out over the next 3 years. I'm sure it'll be extravagant and fabulous. DirecTV will no longer offer their satellite subscriptions for some new customers. They're trying this out on a trial basis in some markets. That's how DirecTV initially built their business, was on satellite delivery of television signals. And the whole idea in the beginning was to deliver TV to rural areas that didn't have access to cable. Well, since then, obviously, things have drastically changed, even with DirecTV now transitioning mainly to a streaming service, although there's plenty of people who still use the satellite portion of it and in rural areas rely on that. But I guess what they're saying here is, if you live in a major metropolitan area, there's really no need for us to come out and install equipment on your roof and in your house when you've already got the cable running into your place that you can stream it through.
It's that easy.
So they're trying that out in some areas. We'll see if this is ultimately the demise of the satellite portion of DirecTV, although it still doesn't answer what they're supposed to do for their rural customers who, in some cases are light years away from having some of the amenities and access to things that most of us just take for granted these days.
Yeah, and plus they're going to save the corner of your roof. You remember that when when the little dishes first were out and they just screw them right through everything?
I still have the base of mine on the roof. I took the dish off, but I'm not going to unscrew that and I have a water leak.
Oh, no, of course.
Yeah.
That's what, as soon as I saw my... Oh, dude, that's awesome.
YouTube is increasing the minimum age required for its users to live stream. It was 13 now. They're raising that to 16. It was confirmed that as of July 22nd, creators will need to be 16 or older to stream unaccompanied on that platform. So make sure your kids are aware of that, Mom and Dad.
While you're, hovering over everything else.
HDMI cables. This has been a bane of many people's existence for years. When these things first came into use, the concept was great. It still is great. The cables themselves used to be overpriced beyond reasonable prices. They since have improved and come down in price, and the amount of information that flows through these cables has improved over the years. The current standard is HDMI 2.1, which is for the 4K and 8K delivery of video and audio. All right, it can be up to 48 gigabits per second through those ultra HDMI 2.1 cables. HDMI 2.2, that version has now been finalized as the next HDMI cable that'll be coming out. It'll double the current video capacity to 96 gigabits per second and deliver 16K resolution. Now, that's fine and dandy. When these cables come out, they'll work just fine with the existing connectors. The problem is you'll have to have compatible devices to take advantage of that bandwidth and resolution. So manufacturers now will be able to start producing those types of devices that will be able to fully utilize the forthcoming HDMI 2.2 standard.
These are times that I really love that my recent TV purchases were just, hey, I can get this TV for about $98.
You're a guy who doesn't
Amazon.
You don't really care about all the bells and whistles. No, I know you don't get. See, I on the other hand, this is exciting to me.
That's my major in college. Is this stuff? I just really, kind of hey.
Ring camera alerts are about to get a little bit smarter utilizing AI. If you have Ring cameras, you can set your app to receive alerts when there's motion in front of those cameras, alerting, hey, something's up, and then you got to go and look and see what's happening. Right now, the descriptions that show up are pretty general, person detected. With the use of the AI alerts that'll be rolling out with Ring camera, you'll now get a more like person detected at front door with a mop. So if you're a cleaning person or whatever, person detected at the front riding on a mower, stuff like that.
Your lawn dude. Person at the front door with a gun.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. And then there's this, be careful if you're buying what is being touted as a pre-owned Switch 2 console. Somebody's selling you one that they're looking to get rid of or whatever. Buyer beware. The company is making no bones about it, that they are fully aware that there are folks out there who have found a way to pirate the Switch 2 games with it's called a MIG card to play pirated games. When they detect that, they will brick your system, okay? They'll render it useless. People who've had that happen to them by Nintendo are then trying to sell those systems unbeknownst to the purchaser as used, and it's a great deal. Guess what? If you buy one of those that's been bricked, it ain't working and ain't never gonna work.
No.
So they're saying buyer beware there. If you want to buy one legitimately secondhand, they say to go through a authorized retailer with an open box return policy.
Just period. Go through a retailer.
Yes. Yes. And finally, some good news to wrap up Tech It Out. Researchers at the University of South Florida are taking a high-tech approach to a very old problem here in Florida, mosquito-borne disease. The team at USF has designed a smart trap that uses artificial intelligence to identify dangerous mosquitoes in real time. The device will lure these mosquitoes in, take a photo, then use an algorithm to detect the species, flagging the ones that carry viruses like dengue or malaria. identifying these quickly and where they're at can pinpoint areas that municipalities can then go and target for control efforts.
Yeah, that's cool.
The device is going to cost under $150.
If they're able to do that and lure these things in and figure all that out, couldn't you just make it one of those traps that does outside your house?
A bug light, bug zapper. Bug zapper. I guess, yeah.
Zap that encephalitis.
You make a good point, Taco.
Lynch and Taco. On demand. Download the iHeartRadio app and listen anytime, anywhere.
This is JRR.